We've never done anything like this on the channel before, but I feel it's kind of necessary at this point. There have been some changes on YouTube that will be affecting the way that Pwn works, that will be affecting the way all of YouTube works. I'm in no position to be talking authoritatively about this, but I'm going to anyway, because it is something I feel that our very small but dedicated fan base should know about. So for those of you who don't know, back in April of last year, there was a journalist who came along on YouTube and discovered some terrorism videos deep into YouTube that had ads placed on them. And that led to the Adpocalypse happening. So YouTube's response to these horrible claims that their videos were sponsoring terrorism through advertisements, their response to that was, we will not monetize any channel with less than 10,000 views, which is fair. I can't imagine that these, like, ISIS terrorist videos would be getting, like, millions of views. And I think it's a fair response to a legitimate issue. It wasn't until November of last year that I actually found out about these requirements, because YouTube's communication system is awful. I was on my creator app one day when I was like, hey, we haven't made money in a long time, and we already don't make a lot of money off of Pwn, but we were making even less than usual. Up in tiny text in the ad revenue section, it says, oh yeah, by the way, in April we said you can't make money unless you have 10,000 views. When I found out about this, we had, I believe, like 6,400 views on the channel, and as of yesterday, we had 8,044, so we're doing pretty well. That's higher than any of our previous yearly totals, I think. We've got like 3,000 this year. We're doing good. Or at least we were doing good. Until Logan Paul comes along and screws it up for everyone. Logan Paul has committed one of the most horrific acts, I think, I've ever seen on YouTube. There is, of course, the infamous suicide video that everyone has already torn apart by now, and I'm not going to do that here because just any attention, positive or negative, just helps him. So I'm not gonna give him that satisfaction. In addition to the suicide video, there's just this awful series of vlogs from Japan. The amount of horrible things he does in these videos, it's to the point where it's not even a joke. It's like legitimate racism at this point. And I don't understand how any rational human being can even, like, be capable of something like that. People flipped out about this, understandably so. And YouTube once again freaked out and they had to act. So last time, 10,000 views, that was a fair response in my opinion. This time, however, their response has been objectionable to say the least. Their new requirement is significantly larger than 10,000 views. You need 4,000 hours of watch time on your channel in the last 12-month period. 4,000 hours is a lot of time. I did the math. It is 240,000 minutes, which is 657.5 minutes per day. That's a lot for smaller channels. That's a lot for, like, even bigger channels in some cases. Pwn specializes in, like, sketches. I say specializes, but come on. Pwn produces shorter content. We make, on average, like 2 to 3 minute videos. So if you do some more math, assuming they watch the entire video, on average, per day, Pwn would need 263 views for 365 days in order to be eligible for monetization. In addition to needing 1,000 subscribers, which means we need 4 subscribers a day for the rest of the year. Right now we're at 60 subscribers, which is 6%, not even a tenth of what is required now. 10,000 views was doable. This is not doable. 28.3 weeks of content per year is not doable for Pwn. So the thing that annoys me about this more so than last time is who this affects. The majority of YouTube channels have under 10,000 views. Keep in mind though that not everyone makes content on YouTube. A lot of channels are just there as, like, personal accounts. But a decent number of YouTubers have less than 1,000 subs, less than 10,000 views. Subscriber milestones and viewer milestones are achievable. They're tedious, but they're achievable. But consistently maintaining several hours of content watched per day is a nearly impossible task for a channel the size of ours. Pwn was never intended to be a large YouTube channel. I don't often get personal. I don't think I've ever gotten personal on Pwn before. But I've had this vision for Pwn that we're all gonna graduate senior year and then the last ever Pwn will come out. The last ever episode of Pwn. And in my mind, there's always been like a small community of subscribers, maybe like less than 100,000, right? Not a huge amount of people. I don't think that that's possible right now. YouTube is, in a way, forcing us to become big to make money off of content that we make. The monetary factor isn't even really an issue here, because yes, it is content that we produce, and yes, I think we deserve whatever money is made off of that, because, believe it or not, there is actually effort put into Pwn videos. It may not seem like it, but to be rewarded for all that work with nothing is kind of painful after a while. We're currently working on a feature film. I guess this is an announcement for that, but we're working on a feature film, and by the time that it comes out, we would have passed 10,000 views at our current rate. Based on that, we were going to be spending money on this. We had a very small budget set aside that we were going to spend on producing this film, which we didn't really have for a hot lead. The budget on that was like $40, and most of that went towards the flasks. This was going to have like a very small but tangible budget. The idea behind that was that we'd make it back through all of the revenue made off of every Pwn video, including the feature film that we're going to release. But we can't do that now, because not only will we have not reached our requirement by the time that film comes out in June, but we won't have reached that goal by the time we graduate in 18 months. It looks like we're not going to be able to monetize Pwn for a long time, and possibly never. Obviously, this hurts smaller channels, but what's maybe even more annoying is that it doesn't help anyone. Big channels will continue to be big. Logan Paul is not hurt by this in any way. No one is hurt by this in any way if they have the required amount of views. But people that don't have that are hurt by this. I have no intention for Pwn to become a big channel, but YouTube has breeded an environment where small channels like this can't exist anymore. The current situation actually bears a lot of similarities to the net neutrality issue last year. Maybe this metaphor is a bit of a stretch, but net neutrality and monetizing YouTube content are not rights, they're privileges, right? No one has said that as an American you're allowed to make money off of YouTube. No one has said as an American you're allowed to use the internet freely. Both YouTube and the internet as a whole have become such integral parts of society that having free access to them is almost a necessity at this point. And I'm not saying that it's a necessity to monetize YouTube content. The ability to express yourself through YouTube and make content and become a YouTuber isn't something that can happen anymore. We're in like a YouTube prohibition era right now. Things are just gonna get worse from here. I don't expect that complaining about it in a video that'll get, 50 views is gonna change anything. Simply complaining about something is not gonna fix it. It never has and it never will. But acknowledging the issue is the first step to solving it. And that is what I'm doing here, I'd like to think. I'm acknowledging the issue. I don't like getting forcibly romantic, I guess. It makes me feel like I'm being edgy or something, and I don't want to seem edgy. I take YouTube seriously, and I'd appreciate it if they took us seriously. This helps no one. It hurts small subscribers. It hurts viewers. Viewers are going to be forced to watch big content. No one can discover anyone anymore because YouTube is a business. YouTube needs to make money. And if YouTube can only make money off of the bigger channels, then why would it devote any time to directing you towards small channels which won't make it money? It's a catch-22 at this point. You're either big or you're not. You can't switch from one side to the other. I've told Wes about this. I talked to him on the phone for a while, and he agreed with everything I had to say. He's devastated by this as well. I haven't talked to Ari yet. My prediction for Ari's reaction is it'll just eliminate any desire to keep making Pwn videos. There's no goal now. It's not an achievable goal. So there's no point. We make content because we enjoy making it. But if YouTube is going to prevent anyone from watching it or prevent us from making money off of it, then why make it? As for how this will affect Pwn, we're not sure yet. We're kind of going into the dark here. We don't know how this will affect our channel. My guess is that not much will change that's noticeable. We're going to continue to make Pwn videos. We were going to bring back the shorter Pwns. The last few have been really long. We were going to head back down to the 12-minute mark. That's not going to help us. So they might just stay long. I don't know. People don't watch the long Pwns, but watching short Pwns isn't going to get us anywhere either. So there's really no way to make any progress at this point. But as for sketches, they're probably going to stay the same. I refuse to sacrifice quality for quantity. If the rate that we put out sketches means that they're going to decrease in quality, then we're not going to do that. We're going to bring it back down to the once per month or whatever it is now. Expect more variety on Pwn this year, I think. If anything, that's the one good thing that's come out of this. It's given us an incentive to broaden Pwn a bit. It's not just going to be the Pwns and the sketches and the shorts. There are 2 new series that we're actually thinking about implementing, and I guess now is a better time than any to do so. So more information will come on that eventually. But for now, this is just me telling you guys the issue. We're going into this blindly. So bear with us. We'll figure out what we're doing eventually. We'll try to keep you updated. But for now, you know the issue, so we're hoping that you'll understand. Thank you. We appreciate you. And I promise it'll get better. Pwn.